Hello and welcome to another video at Wedding Secrets. My name is Claire and it's a pleasure to talk to you today. Now, perhaps you were Googling and you came across our video. Well, firstly, you're in the right place. Lots and lots of brides and grooms which we've worked with in the past, every now and then maybe find out that they're pregnant along the journey of their wedding. And there's lots and lots of questions, which I'm sure if you're in this situation, you've got lots of excitement, but also lots of concerns. How am I gonna plan the biggest day of my life while pregnant? Well, firstly, a huge congratulations. You have two wonderful milestones in your life which are coming together. And the best news is, on your big day, you're gonna have your little one with you, which is such an amazing feeling. Now, what I really aim to do in this video is to put some of your concerns at rest. Here at Wedding Secrets, we work with couples around the world for years and years and years, and this is not the first time we've had this issue raised. So we want to share our advice with you, and we're going to give you some different options and some different tips which are absolutely key on planning your big day while pregnant. We're gonna start right the way at the beginning. Now, the tips I'm gonna be giving you are from myself and Wedding Secrets, and also Lindsay Sachs, who's a very, very, very well-known industry wedding expert, all the way from Collective by Sachs. Now, the very first place to start is a simple question. You found out you're pregnant. Have you already began to plan your wedding, or have you got nothing confirmed yet? So maybe, if we're going to start right at the beginning, you're asking that question: should I postpone till after the baby or not? Well, firstly, this is a great situation to be in because you've got options. You've not got a date which you're coming up to, you've got choices. And the best thing to do, as Lindsay agrees, you need to start by writing a pros and cons list to getting married before your baby comes or waiting till after the baby arrives. Now, on that pros and cons list, you have to be realistic. There are so many things you need to factor in. For example, financially, is it going to work financially? Let's talk about realistic expectations. When are you due? Throughout your pregnancy, you're gonna have lots of added stress, you're gonna be tired, you're not always gonna be feeling 100%, especially during those first trimesters, which can be really, really, really difficult for many mums to be. So do consider that. Now, once you wrote your pros and cons list, and you've really weighed up the options, whether or not to go before or after the baby. Let's say you've decided to get married before your baby arrives. The best piece of advice I can give you when starting your wedding planning is give yourself a good amount of time. And I mean that from your wedding date to when your baby arrives. Give yourself as much time as possible because there could be complications which you might need to consider. There might be an early labour which you need to consider. Towards the end of your pregnancy, you might have those swollen feet, you might still have that sickness, you might be more exhausted than usual. So in terms of time-wise, while you have this grace period, really plan and get everything as comfortable as possible. So let's say you don't have the grace of that option. Let's say you've got your date set, everything's booked, everything is ready to go, your dream wedding is on its way. You're gonna be pregnant on your wedding day. That's absolutely amazing because you get to actually share your wedding day with your bump, which is such an incredible thing. And towards the end of this video, I do want to talk about making your bump part of your day, which we will come back to. But one thing I would absolutely advise now, as soon as possible, you need to start getting things in place for that wedding day. Now you know you're pregnant, you need to change things. The first thing you need to change is you need to speak to your caterers. Your caterers would have had this situation many times before. You need to get on the phone, meet them face to face, and talk about changes to the food which will be served at your wedding. You can no longer have those uncooked meats, that particular type of blue cheese that you might love. You cannot have all of those different aspects which you might not have even thought about. Then we need to talk about the alcohol. You no longer can have alcohol, so you need to start looking at other alternatives. When we're talking about wedding dress shopping, you may have already chose your dress, and I can probably guess you have around 2 fittings. You need to be going in and speaking to the team at your bridal boutique. Does that dress still work for you? Is it going to work by the time we get to the wedding day? Your fittings, the dates of your fittings are probably going to have to be increased and moved closer towards the actual wedding day. So if you are going to go ahead with it, the thing that you have to do is get on the phone to those vendors. It is crucial. The more time, the more notice you give them, the better it is for absolutely everybody. But do not worry, these are professionals who have been in the industry for years and years, and they will know exactly what to do. Now, before I bring you the next top tip, there's 3 crucial things that I really want you to bear in mind in this video. Because you are going to be pregnant on your big day, 3 key things that I want you to always bear in mind: financial, time, energy. Those 3 things are something that every couple have to bear in mind on their big day. You're not excluded from this. You're going to have to think about the exact same 3 things, but in a different way. We'll come to each of those aspects in just a moment, but that does lead me on to my next point. Keep it simple. Lots of brides, pregnant or not, towards those last few weeks, we find can get quite flustered, a little bit anxious. There's lots going on. Keep everything as simple as you possibly can. Now, when it comes to the planning, now this is for most mums to be, not all, but most of them tend to find their first trimester their hardest. Huge influx of hormones, lots of morning sickness, lots of uncomfortable feelings. And it really is that first trimester which you might not be feeling your fittest, your best, your healthiest, your most energetic. So try and keep things simple when it comes to planning. If there is a really big task that you are going to do for your wedding, perhaps you're going to hand make all the place settings. Is there another way you can do it? You are going to have a venue which involves lots of moving around. Is there another way that you can adjust that? You're going to have a really long wedding day. Is that too long for you? Can you adjust that? Just have a little think about different ways you can keep it simple. Now, when it comes to those 3 key things, so when I was talking about energy, this is what I mean, not just on your big day, but the planning. Have you got lots and lots of pre-wedding events? Are you going to have the energy to keep up? Time. Now, when you are pregnant, especially through certain stages of the pregnancy, you're going to want to devote just as much time to getting ready for that baby than you are at the wedding. Can you keep things simpler in the wedding so you can almost, if you like, share your time between the 2 different aspects of about to become a parent and getting married? Thirdly, financial. It's not the nicest thing to talk about, but you have got a baby on the way. Do you need a little bit of financial money just put away for the baby? Can you balance this? Is there something that can be changed? And we will talk about that in just a moment. But I do want to bring you onto our next key point, which is help. Do not refuse help. You might have a fantastic team of family and friends. Use them, utilize them. Do not be afraid to give them an almighty list of tasks and jobs. That's what they're there for. And play to people's strengths. So for example, my sister got married on a minuscule budget. The way that she did that, and she did not have the grace of time either, is she used the family. So my mum did the catering, my stepdad did all the DIY, I did hair and makeup. There are lots of people within your party, within your wedding party, that will have skills. Use them. Do you have a cousin or a friend who is brilliant at organising? Can they do all the calls pre the wedding to check that everything's on schedule? So give them a list and have them report back to you to keep you updated. Remember, it is all about your health and your well-being, so use your team. Now, this does bring me on to my next point, which is something that you might not have considered: a wedding planner. Lots of us, let's be honest, don't always have the budget for a wedding planner, and that's okay. Now, what my sister did, because my sister had a very small budget, instead of having a wedding planner who worked through all of the months, all of the year's prep, she had a wedding organizer for just the day of the wedding. It was a fraction of the cost. She had a few meetings beforehand, then the wedding organizer kept everything on track on the day of the wedding. Like I said, it was a fraction of the cost, and it just put my sister's mind at ease. It is a wonderful thing to have. And I was there at the wedding, and the organizer, she had everyone in the right place for the pictures. She had everybody sat down for the dinner. She showed the DJ where to set up. And it's just little things like that which are going to make your time much easier. Now, my next point is the financial side of things. I know we just touched on this, but I do want to come back to it. Yes, you want your dream wedding. However, you've got a little one on the way. Do you need to rework your wedding budget? What can you cut if you need to? I'm going to give you some really quick, easy ways to cut down huge amounts of money on your wedding. Have you got 100 guests? Can you chop it down to 50? People will understand. On your invitations, your RSVs, why not, instead of asking for a wedding gift, ask for cash instead? It's very normal, it's not rude, and people do expect to see that. A little bit of money to help to cover the cost of the wedding. Is there something, and have a really good look at your finances for the wedding, is there something that you can cut, which you can make yourself? You could have your bridesmaids make. A wonderful way we did it was my sister, she couldn't afford the flowers. The flowers are very expensive. So we did the flowers ourselves. We literally created them on our own, and it saved hundreds and hundreds of pounds. Do you have a band and a DJ? Perhaps could we just have one? Could you speak to the band and ask them if they would do a DJ set after at a fraction of the price? Is there something that you can, for example, have you got a sit-down meal, then of an evening are you serving pizzas or burgers? Could you cut that? Is that needed? Could you do a cheese board instead? It's just really, really small ways, which in the end, I know you might have wanted them for your big day. It's just giving you a little bit more financial flexibility. But I will leave those thoughts with you, because finally, which I think is our most important one, if you're going to be getting married and you have your bump with you, if it's official and it's announced, why not include your bump in your big day. Make something really, really special because it's their day as well. Maybe have the DJ do an announcement, or perhaps you could have little cards or maybe little pictures of the scan. There's lots and lots of different ways to include your little one in your big day, because remember, you have got the privilege of bringing two huge milestones of your life into this big day, and it's going to be a day you are going to remember forever. So why not give them a special mention on your special day? Now, I hope this video has helped you. If you are going to be pregnant on your big day, have a look through our YouTube videos. We have a wonderful range of pregnancy videos. We talk about what shoes to wear, different silhouettes of dresses which can work through different stages of your pregnancy. We talk about self-care, which is another key one. Self-care is huge when it comes to prepping, especially that crucial week before, making sure you've got your doctor's appointments, making sure you're having time for pampering, reflection, relaxation, well-being. There's some wonderful videos on our YouTube, so give us a like, give us a subscribe, and give us a message. Let me know how planning is going for you. Let me know how you're finding it. And remember, just relax and stay calm. It will all be wonderful.